We're getting a much more standardized draft, it seems, from Liquid. No support Pango this time.
No, definitely not. And it's just run it back for Mudgolems, pretty much. Just a couple changed heroes here, but overall kind of similar style. Just a little bit more, you know, Lena's a little bit more different because you're not playing as this initiator that just always is there. But they have the Earth Spirit, which acts as that initiator instead. And immediately off here with the smoke level 1, looking for Mikke. Trying to get themselves a nice quick first blood start. The level 1 draft of Team Liquid is one of the weakest drafts, so that's why you see them smoking up here on the side of Mudgolems. They have a Morphling and a Chen. These two heroes do nothing level 1, similar with DK. So they're trying to scout the lanes, trying to get lucky here to get a kill.
Yeah, you can almost feel that Liquid, they're aware of this themselves with the way that they're grouping up, keeping 4 of them down here, and Mikke hidden in the trees. They know that Mudgolems was going to be looking for that sort of play, and they'll make sure that they don't fall to it.
I actually gotta go glancing through Team Liquid's recents because I don't recall them playing Chen in quite a long time, and also it's Taiga playing it, which I think Insania played it a few times in the past, but I swear it's been like 5 months, maybe more, since I've seen them play it, unless I'm just mistaken right now.
Yeah, we'll see what moves Tiger's going to be able to make. Down bottom, Fada
should be able to get this kill here. The damage, a couple more right clicks. He's got a Fairy Fire.
I mean,
he actually survives. Okay.
It saved him. It saved him. Fairy Fire, boys and girls. They make sure you got one. As Fodder able to make sure no first blood's going to be given up there.
Yeah, I'm still going back. I'm at 4 months now. I still haven't seen a Chen on Team Liquid. Scrolling through all their history. They have not played Chen in a very long... Yeah, I'm at 5 months now. So they haven't played Chen in 5 months unless I'm totally blind and it just passed my eye. So sometimes this hero can be a little bit more difficult to play with. So we'll see how they're going to be able to run it. Because it is Taiga playing it as well, too, who's usually the 4 position. They're kind of swapping things up a little bit here.
Looking at some of the other lanes, we've got mid, Brony Lena against the Quake for DK.
See, he skilled stun. See, we saw Boom earlier. He didn't skill the stun versus DK. Barninga, he's skilling stun, and he's messing with these last hits.
Yeah, I mean, it's just interesting to see both, obviously both very high-level mid players, high-level Lena players, just taking different approaches. But, yeah, I got to say that personally, I feel that I see more success when we do see someone take the stun as Boromir has done, as opposed to, as you say, when we saw Boom and he opens with the 2-0-1.
He did miss his range creep last hit, though, because of not having the Dragon Slave, because he went for a stun harass. But yeah, that's the kind of the trade-off. You have to you play around this. So it's very just player dependent how I've seen that they've taken it. That's top. See, Taiga, he's got the Dream Creep, and they're actually getting aggressive onto 33. Can they kill him? Oh, God, the self. They get him.
Very, very nicely done there. I mean, that's a big one for Mikke. First blood and a salve down the drain for 33.
And it's a big slip up, too, because, Milan, he was pulling the wave back, so 33 just overplayed his hand, staying up too far. He just gets right-clicked and chased down and dies. Pretty big mistake there by 33. And Taiga, as we said, he did find the best creep, at least for sustain in the lane. As you see Mikke, look at that Morphling, just love life, 15 HP per second, pretty much. Yep.
Yeah, that's amazing with the ball.
And the mana regen. That's the other thing that people always know. It's like that 2.5 mana regen, 1200 radius. This creep is pretty OP. Let's be honest here. It's been like that forever too. They will get the kick on Mikke, but he gets the wave for mid kick.
33, just trying to mess with Taiga. Looking to get this creep control around with the pull.
Bottom. Ooh, Remnant off the mark onto Fada. He will be able to disengage. And now Boxy getting turned on. Should be fine.
Yeah, he's got that pulse, giving you a little bit of a shield, protect him against those right clicks of the Spectre. And top 33 is able to grab the big wave. A very juicy one here. He's going to be able to take that back to his half of the map and farm it up without any interruptions from Taiga and Mikke.
Look at Mikke. He doesn't have to spend money on regen. Tank the creep under the tower. You've got a forest, or the hill troll, please. Just keep healing you. He's going to be topped off the whole time as this Morphling. So Mikke should be a pretty free lane for him. Meanwhile, bottom, we do see Skitter getting pressured a little. Yeah.
It's top, Mikke. And Taiga coming in behind the towers here to try and play with 33 whilst he's cleaning up this pulled wave.
This is the new lane positioning here.
Very aggressive here, yeah, sort of bringing the lane round. And oh no, rest in peace, Hill Troll Priest.
It's been eaten.
It's
and now
been
Taiga.
eaten.
Uh-oh, he's kind of far up here.
Oh no, he might be in trouble himself now. That's Taiga. He will go down there, able to roll in. And Taiga goes as well at the same time down bottom. Also losing Boxy. Fada able to snipe him out with a few purifying flames.
And now we see, of course, yeah, like you said, now he's got the troll creep to heal himself up on 33. And Milan, he got an urn actually delivered already because he was able to farm that whole first wave that he pulled behind. He's now got charges. So 33 fully sustained in lane. They can stay up here without having to spend money on regen.
And I guess it was sort of with just that small camp to play with, like the RNG that you actually get out of one of those Hill Troll Priests is it's not great, right? You're gonna have to get pretty lucky for a spawn to come in.
Yeah, Taiga again, they're rolling on him. The urn charge, it's gonna be enough damage. He's gonna go down here. Back-to-back deaths. He's got no TP to go back out to lane to help Mickey. Heads up plays from Milan. This ward giving him all that information to make the move. And oh, maybe get courier. Oh, 1 HP.
Did it go down to 1?
It went to 1. Yeah, it went down to 1. He did 99 in one hit.
Oh.
All right. Bounty runes secured on the top side for Mudgolems. And they're leading just a little bit here in these first 5 minutes.
Middle tower is under attack.
We are seeing Koikfa try to take advantage of the movement from Borodin here. And he's got decent level advantage on this DK over the Lina too. So some good pokes on the tower with the catapult wave. No rotations coming in from Mudgolems to slow this down either.
Barney just trying to do it on his own hit. Almost to nuke down the creep waves. Keep him pushed at least away from the tower a little bit longer. Bottom lane. Trying to move it on to Insania. Remnant off the mark there from Boxy, but the lift up will slow down the two of them. I'll turn over towards Boxy, but the Fade bolts out. A little damage being done. In fact, Fada, he's holding his ground. He's ready to maybe try and fight into this, but Boxy, one more pulse, still these raindrops, keeping Fada safe. Fada's fine.
Raindrop, the most ridiculous item in lane, as we've been seeing throughout this tournament especially. Just everybody always having them versus these double nuke lanes. Boxy and Fada both using them.
They're able to get the roll in onto Mickey. Ooh, it was a good attempt from Milan there. With the stun and the silence, he actually is nearly able to find that setup on a Mickey, but Mickey, just enough HP to play with, and he'll live.
Under the gun now, though, as Taiga, he has to kind of walk away and just jungle, because he can't actually walk back toward top. Now Boxy, too, looking for Fada, but Skeeter's getting free hits on him. And they already got
he can't commit any further for Fada. I mean, Fada still has charge of the raindrop.
He's got a Fortune's End to back up here with the mana. Can't quite get in range, though.
This has got to be a little worrying for Liquid that, again, we are seeing a game where the Spectre, I mean, he said we'll slow down a little bit, but getting involved in 2 kills already in the lane, it's not as good of a start as last game, but it's not necessarily a bad start here for the Skeeter Spectre.
No, oh, 33 actually messed up a pull just now. Milan was trying to pull the lane back. 33 messed that one up. Mika, he has the Ogre Frost Mage, so he's got the Ice Armor under the tower. Pretty tough to kill. But they do have a lot of burst coming in. If they can get the silence, they even have the Chain Lightning coming in from 33. So Mika's got to keep himself at a little bit higher of a strength morph here at this 19 right now. Doesn't want to just get popped by the burst.
Also, and sort of eyes on Tiger as well, as you said. Definitely going to be interested to see what he does this game, considering he's playing a hero that you say we just haven't really seen Liquid do. I mean, what do you sort of expect is going to be coming out from Tiger in this early game? Like, what's his game plan?
It's usually what I see with the chances. Like, I usually just judge him off of puppies. You just farm. You play the farm game with the mech, and then you just move your carry around to the farm location so he can save his TPs. So if Tiger wants, he can walk bottom, Divine Favor Mickey, and then he has TP available to go to other places. He can also set up around mid. That's another thing that he can do because he does have a DK. So he should have a mech at a pretty decent time, and they can't set up for these group pushes. Rune spawn. Rune appears up top. Very lucky for Borodin here because he has a full bottle, full mana. And they're all set up around the mid lane for this DK.
Still a very hard kill, though, to find Koikfa at this stage. Double braces and treads.
Yeah. Milan is going to be going for a rushed Spirit Vessel this game, and it has some real good usage versus both the Morphling and the DK. That's going to be real nice if he's able to get it at a pretty decent pace of this. As he should, because he's had such a good start. Yeah,
and you know, you look at the supports, obviously will have the Hand of God, but that's also going to be restricted by that, and no ways of removing the vessel from the teammates. So
no.
And it's going to be an incredibly good game for it.
Bottom, Boxy. He still has one Astral Step with the silence come in.
Off the mark with the stun, though. Borneo. A little bit off to the side there. Boxy might still fall, though. Skeeter's trying to stay on top of him. No, he's got another step. Boxy will live.
Quakefa slowed
attention
down,
over towards Quakefa, and Borneo is able to close the gap, get another light strike array down. Quakefa still very tanky. They'll blow the Laguna. They're bringing him low. They're rolling in. Milan closes the gap. They've got just enough burst to do it. As Quakefa goes down, that's an Elder Dragon form down the drain.
They're trying to punish 33 up top during it, but they can't. And Borning is instantly actually TPing.
Quick moves.
33 almost just threw the Doom down. He's trying to get the angle.
Okay. Gotta be careful, standing close to this. Borneo's going to show now, though.
Yep.
Mickey knows what's up.
Huge heads-up play, though. That Quakefa's rotation with his Elder Dragon form just gets killed instantly down bottom.
I mean, he's got to be careful. I mean, he doesn't want to fall foul to sort of the same moves as last game, as we saw, you know. His Invoker, first few moves around the map, he dies, his game gets shut down heavily. Sure, things are a little easier for a DK to come back in, but it's still not great, right? You do want to be having that driving force as the DK, taking towers, pressuring early objectives.
It's pretty similar, honestly. Yeah, if he dies like a couple times, it'll look pretty disastrous for Quakefa because they have the tools to deal with him. They have percent-based damage that's going to come from the Doom, from the Infernal Blade that will come out eventually, and they just have high burst and easy ways to pierce through that armor. And what looks will be a pretty early Spirit Vessel for Milan, so yeah, it doesn't feel like it's going to be the easiest for Quakefa's. Mech is online now for Taiga, so it looks like they're grouping up. They're trying to get something out of this, but DK form is still on cooldown for 15. They should be able to hit it once they get to the tower, though.
See what sort of a move they are able to make down. Esquita's got the Haunt good to go. Doom and Laguna also there. 33 and Borneo want to TP over. They do have their TPs up. They'll find Fighter off to the side. Got the Fortune's in though. And he's still full HP. They're still trying to commit. Boxy in with the second Astral Step. Quakefa steps forward, but Fada just buying so much time here. Gets the false promise off. They're having to commit a lot to try and kill him. And at that time, it's giving the opportunity for Mudgolems to come in with the TPs. They do lose Fada, but now 33's been able to get him with the Doom drop down onto Boxy. Boxy trying to run with the Magnetize from Milan and hitting pretty much onto the entire team of Liquid. Boxy, he'll go down. Mickey turns into the Lina form over towards Borneo. Locks him down with the Light Strike array. Dodge with the Waveform, avoiding the Light Strike. Mickey will be able to find the kill on Borneo. Tiger ticking down low. Milan, he's just kept this going for the entirety of this fight. The Haunts out from Skeeter. Quakefa is very low right now. Skeeter, is he going to be able to chase this? Mickey trying to stun, but Skeeter's able to step to the side, dodge it. 33 still just from the side, just spamming in these chain lightnings to keep them low. Not quite low enough to kill these members of Liquid off, so Liquid will manage to get the rest of them out of there.
And a big show up. Look how much damage that Milan did with his Magnetize. 3,000 damage from the Earth Spirit. He used 6 Stone Remnants to keep it spreading, and even still, they weren't able to get the kills on almost anybody. That was pretty big there for Liquid to press forward. Didn't get the tower, and that is another DK form used, and it is a Chen pressure move that Mudgolems is able to kind of avert themselves with, and Skeeter is still back to farming. Ada had just hit 6 also there, like literally as they were making the play, so some ideal timing for them is back to farming, and DK form being down means some passivity coming up from Liquid.
And that sort of play is, of course, going to be favoring that of Skeeter. I guess Mickey's still happy to play in the creeps. We saw already Mickey starting to get very involved. Early movement, joining the team very early on in the game as a Morphling. I mean, made all the difference, just allowing them to actually have that damage, and those Q plays turning into Borneo's Lina, using those spells against them did give the opportunity for them to take those kills. We'll see Milan set up onto Boxy. DD, they've got the damage. Well, actually, do they? No, they don't.
Got the stick charges.
Boxy's actually able to live. Oh my goodness, they've got the urn on him though. He's going to try and deny to Ancients. He's going to be able to do it. Boxy. Very, very nicely done there with the deny. I mean, it looked like he was dead for sure. It looked like they wouldn't even need the Laguna. But they popped it, and it still wasn't enough.
Big plays there, and he gets the deny, so no urn charge reestablished for Milan. Nicely done. Now Laguna's down too, so Mika is like, thank you. You ate the Laguna. I feel much safer now to go out on the map. And yeah, every time that Mika does have his morph up it does seem like it's going to be a pretty big deal because they also have the Rubik. So if they're both targeting Lina with spell steals, it's a lot of chain stun that they can actually get between these two. I love when I see Morph and Rubik on the same team. So many different plays that they can do. You see 33, he already has the crucial step to deal with a Morphling, though, as this Doom. He's already got the Blink, and he's found his Centaur. So Blink stomps into Dooms will be likely to happen a lot of these times, as, you know, last time Boxy was in the front line, so he got doomed, but Mick is going to be the Doom target in all of these fights. And it's just like last time, too. They have the Haunt, so the information, it's always going to be there when it's up for 33 to pick and choose which target he does go on.
That's top lane. 33. Boxy.
Ooh.
Boxy hidden in the trees for now.
Invisibility.
Got a lot of them up here. Milan, he's going to lead in. They don't even need the Doom for this. It's a quick jump there. Milan always just closing in, finding the angle for the silence.
And he's actually opted to not finish up that Spirit Vessel, just not getting as much farm on the map as I think he expected himself to, and he's just going to go for the Veil. It's really good with his team anyway, benefits for everybody.
An instant smoke too. They still want to make use of that Doom. They still have a very good kill potential from that. 32's going to come with the TP down bottom, see if they can get Quakefer. Quakefer already backing away towards the river. Looks unlikely that they'll find him here, as Liquid aren't going to have anyone show or move down towards that bottom lane. No pressure being applied to the tier 2 tower.
This is a really cool approach by Borening here. I'm not sure if you saw this, but he pretty much has Lincoln's almost done. He went Boots of Travel, and he's just been going a farm build to just... If he's able to block like the instant lift or the instant Dragon Tail, and he can reset in a lot of these fights, it can be pretty huge for him. I do quite like this. It's a very greedy style, but it's already worked. Like 15 minutes, he hasn't really gotten punished for it.
Oh,
it's going to be really interesting as he's jumped.
Quakefer's in.
And that's why we're seeing, you know, he really wants to get that Lincoln's to protect, because these instant jumps, they're going to kill him every time. That's always the concern about the Linas.
And Liquid getting some good pressure on with the Dragon Form. It's Quakefer able to keep his game just in a much better position in comparison to what we saw his Game 1 performance go to at this stage. Getting the objectives, getting these jumps.
DD Mickey with a Manta.
Oh, this is going to be a quick Roche. A very quick Roche. Yeah, there's no way the Mudgolems can do anything about this one. Even if they start ahead over now, they're just not going to be able to get her in time.
No, they're smoked. The Blink will be up by the time they're there.
Are they going to have an opportunity at the end? No, they're not even going.
Good old DD runes outside the Roche pit. If they didn't get the DD, it would take them just so much longer, and then there is definitely chances for Mudgolems to have contested.
Mudgolems just going to try and take what they can from this bottom half. Also, no Liquid's all up there on the top. Tier 1 tower being pressured, and I mean, still it is a very close opening here. 8-5, 1k lead for Mudgolems. But already we're seeing on the network some sort of similar patterns to what was coming out in Game 1. You know, these 3 cores of Mudgolems in good position, whereas for Liquid it is pretty much shifting all towards being on the back of this morph already at this very early point.
Again, going for this tri-cross scaling. That's why we saw Borening go for this build. Boots of Travel straight into Lincoln. He's going for farm. Jump mid.
So if they can finish this off, they're going to come in with a Haunt. Trying to commit for Quakefer. Silence out from Milan again. He's landing these stones each and every time. They pop the Hand of God. The Guna's out. Quakefer finally burnt by the Dragon Slave from Boromir. They also lose Boxy, as Boxy just gets caught out by the Doom in the midst of it all. And maybe Insania can try and set up for some plays with that in mind. Of course, a little hard for him to close the gap, but Telekinesis could do some boulder-on-boulder action here between Milan and Mickey. So they're just chasing each other around the map.
He's ran out now, though. His morph did run out, and Milan's going to be able to outnumber him with the rollaways. There's a big jump there. 2 cores taken out. Even through that Hand of God, through that mech, they have the damage. If they can get the jumps, which, like we said, it really feels like Mudgolem's going to get the jumps almost every time with this Spectre, even if they're into this Aegis.
Because, you know, and the thing is, we saw how good Mudgolems were with this sort of play before, right? Because they had the Spectre, they had the Doom, they had these heroes to do it. And as I said, it's early, but this game could shift again into just a straight 4 protect 1 from Liquid, and they're doing it against the Doom.
Very similar. Doom, as well as this is such a cool build. I don't think I've ever seen something like this. Like just bots into Lincolns. Can definitely do some real big work instead of going for like Yules. It's gonna protect versus those hard stuns, and if he can reset away, it's gonna prove everything for him.
Yeah.
Or even just protecting Skeeter. There's just so many different things he can do with it. It's a really cool approach.
And I think, sure, you know, what you may be missing from the Yules in terms of setup doesn't really matter too much because he knows that he's going to have 33 jumping in with the blink, Skeeter going in with the horn, or Milan. You know, I think what Milan with these moves, he's been all the initiation they've ever needed, as he's always in their first 2, 1, and 6. He's had a very clean start and some smooth plays as the Surge Spirit in this early game. Yeah,
it's just like that Storm Spirit. He's the initiator. If the jump comes out, the Stolen Doom actually gets thrown onto Borning and he gets double Dragon
Slave.
Slave.
Unless Milan can set up for a deny on him. Fada actually don't need to. False Promise is there. They're able to get Boronier back to base. He's safe. Koifa jumps in. It's very deep up to the high ground, but they'll be able to do it quickly. Liquid bursts down Fada. Got Fada turning up, giving his life, and saving Boronier from the Doom.
And it's just a 5-position kill in that whole downtime during Haunt and Doom being on cooldown. They can't actually get that big kill. And that DK form, it's used. So they're going to look to try to get more out of this here, but everything's going to come back up here. Haunt and 20, Doom is up.
Oh, Milan. Well, that was cheeky. He was able to roll past, grab the bounty rune. Is he actually able to live off the back of this as well? He is.
He wants the next one.
Yeah, he gets out and he takes the 2 bounty runes pretty much right underneath Liquid's noses. As Milan, see if they are able to kill him for this. He's got another boulder. He's away. Are they going to get the kill on him? They're not. He's TPing out. And just continue to be a right nuisance for Liquid. Just stealing the 2 bounties and not even dying.
He rolled literally right in the middle of like 3 heroes. He just gets away with it. All right. And now, Haunt, Doom back up, and Liquid, they tried to get something big out of those being down, but just getting that 5 position. Got to keep their lanes pushed in so they can, you know, make Mudgolems not get the most out of their big ults. So bottom is pushed in nicely, top and middle are. So Liquid lane's in a good spot, even if they do lose somebody here to these ults. Milan has to be a little bit more conservative with his stones now, as he did have to expend a lot in order to get away. So only has 2 more here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
2 supports show mid just now. The Chen and the Rubik both showed themselves. They might look to make a play, Mudgolems. They have some information now, finally.
See Mickey. Very close to having the Lincolns.
He's gone.
Yeah, certainly got to be a little cautious before he does get it finished. As ults are up, Doom, Laguna, and Haunt ready to go. Mudgolems off on the hump once more. They smoke up.
They're going to get him right before the Lincolns. Mickey has to be very careful with his positioning here. He's so close to it.
Yeah, already starting to move away from this bottom tower. Insania and Tiger's still around, though.
This is a nice move, Mickey. Just going into the safer place to finish off his Lincolns. It's going to be done. It's coming out. This might save him here. 33, getting in position.
Oh, they've got to be ready to check those items as well, because they might jump before they realize it's there.
They see it now.
Silence. What's the Manta? They pop the Lincolns and they set up for the Doom. As the Doom is down onto Mickey, shifting up in strength, but there's a lot of damage coming in and it's enough. Mickey goes down.
Stolen Doom.
Side, Milan, he's going to be safe. Fada's able to get the false promise of keep Milan alive. Boxy's trying to take down Fada with the combo. Will do so. Fada falls. Boxy turning over to try and help Tiger, but Boronier just punches down Tiger. The light strike away from Boronier catches onto Boxy. He's got a jump available, but over to the side, Milan's watching, and there's the vision for the burst. The Purifying Flames from Fada finishes him off as they're able to make that jump there. And, who was it that removed the Lincoln? Someone did so perfectly.
I think it was Purifying Flames, it looked like.
I think it must have been. Yeah, it must have been.
It was so quick, the animation. I didn't even get to see it.
Yeah. Instantly recognized. And definitely one of those situations as well that just shows how tuned in Mudgolems are, because there's definitely been cases where Lincoln's been picked up and teams haven't checked before they made the jump. And that Lincoln's only just purchased, but they saw it, they knew it was there, and they play around it and get the chance to land the Dooms down still onto Mickey.
even when he gets like the Manta and splits and gets the confusion, they still get that quick Doom onto him anyway. And from then, the fight looks so hard for Liquid. That's all their damage, really. Like the DK and the Void Spirit and the Rubik, they can provide some, but they can't actually finish off many targets. And that was also, Insania stole Doom and instantly doomed the Spectre right afterwards. So he was zoned out of the fight a little bit, but Morphling dead, there's no way that Liquid can fight. Like you said, it really is a 4 protect 1 and out at this point for them.
It's turning into it. It really is. And we saw how that story ended in game 1. This one definitely a lot closer. Now, Quakefer, for example, isn't anywhere near as far as out of it as he was in the first game. He's got the BKB done. Bottom lane, Mickey finds Fada pushing out that lane alone. But they've got to be careful, Liquid. If Quakefer's game slows down any further and it does turn extremely into the situation where it's all about Mickey, it's just a lot of pressure. And I mean, in comparison to game 1, would you feel more confident if you're Liquid putting this game on Mickey as a morph, those sort of shoulders in comparison to a troll, as we saw in game 1? Is it just safe on the morph?
It's like it's one of his most comfortable heroes. Like when Liquid's struggling and they put Mickey and morph and he's having a good game like this, there's a lot of times when he can carry it. It's going to be a very tough hill to climb, though. He's just versus so many counters, the natural ones too. The Doom and that Lino, he's going to be a huge problem for him. And I'm seeing the itemization 33. Like, he even builds himself a Force Staff. So another Linken's Breaker just in case he doesn't have the backup of his teammates to break it. They're setting themselves up for success, Liquid. Got to make use of this here, as they're still pretty big, and there is a fresh BKB now on Koikfa, so he's a lot stronger to stick onto this Lina. Haunt is now back up, though. Everything is
on the
back
high
at the
ground.
ready.
Okay. He's stepping in. Jump forward from Quakefer. Dragon Tail stun going to be blocked by Linkers onto the side. Milan's in. The Haunt's out. They get the silence on a Boxy. Boxy jumps over to the side. Quakefer's had to put the BKB. Boxy is trying to take down Fada. Fada is off to the side, but they have the vision. The sentries drop down. They'll kill him off. Stolen Doom down onto Skeeter. The Skeeter's able to kite his way out of the fight. He'll back off out of this. And so far, just Boxy for Fada, the trade that's gone on.
DK form is used, and BKB was used too from Liquid, so they're really trying to force something here. Now they're going to start getting chased out. So 33 actually Force-staffed himself. He tried to blink Force-staff onto the Morphling, and things got too jumbled in the midst of it. He actually forced himself away rather than getting the Doom off.
We're seeing Roche. It's up in a few seconds. Very, very close to being up. Both teams, I mean, I guess actually looking at the two, you would still favor Mudgolems fight around the pit when they have their ults up.
Yep. Like they're always going to be stronger when they have their ults up. Liquid has to make moves when they're down, and right now is that move. Their Doom is available, but that Laguna as well as that Haunt are on cooldown. They cannot let Mudgolems get this Roche. 30 seconds left on that DK form. Foxy is back to the fray, but this Roche is going to start dropping fast.
Yeah, they've got to make moves quickly. Sending in the Centaur to scout out the situation. Boxy's ready with the jump in. Trying to set things up with the Centaur stun. Remnant pull back onto Skeeter. And Mudgolems themselves, they're not overcommitting here for the Roche. They're waiting out to the side.
Manta on cooldown for Spectre. He's waiting for that. He's a little bit low on mana too. Scorched Earth on cooldown now. Constantly throwing Remnants in for vision.
Who's to make the move? Boxy. He's in, gets the silence onto the three of them. Dragon Tail stun onto the Doom. 33 is falling low. Lifted up as well. The light strike rates up. Thrown down onto Quakefer, but the save's there for 33. False promise in play. 33 still alive for now. Roshan does continue to fall low over to the side. Mickey's going to be looking towards Baimalam. 33 pops the BKB. He's trying to get away from them. Boxy's chasing him down. Still has the Doom ready to pop if he sees an opportunity, but he's holding on to it. Mickey comes in. The stop. They break the linkers and then bam! They slam him out of the game. Roshan goes down. Aegis will be snatched by Quakefer. Skeeter's able to get the cheese though, and he's back up to full HP. Mickey buying back to try and help Quakefer here in this fight. He's in on a Boronia. They take down one. Quakefer's getting low, but they've lost Quakefer's Aegis and they've lost Boxy. Buyback from Boronia. This is a risky fight for Liquid. They pull back on Mickey. They cannot allow the Morph to die, but the Haunt's up. Skeeter, he turns straight away onto Tiger. Tiger taken out by the illusions on the side. Boronia, the light strike. He lands it perfectly onto Mickey and onto Insania. A beautiful re-engage there from Boronia as he comes back into the fight with the bots. and he lands what may just be a game-defining stun there onto Mickey. That's a dieback from the Mickey morph.
Oh my, that was beautiful the way he did it. He TP'd on the mid wave and goes for the flank from the side that you just would never expect it. He gets the perfect stun. Skeeter gets the cheese. He's able to use it and turns the whole fight.
I mean, just some of the ways that Mudgolems are playing this team fights, it just seems so hard to deal with. The patience as well you saw from 33 in that fight. Lots of opportunities to drop down a Doom, but he was saving it. He was saving it right up until when Mickey tries to go in. He just makes sure that he's got that Doom every time for the morph. Does the job. Mickey's down, has to buy back, and now they're ready to fight up into the high ground. They're trying to bring down Skeeter, but Skeeter pots the Manta and he's away. Milan turns with the silence onto Boxy. 33 slides down, daggers out as well as the Laguna. Boxy gets the double resonant pulse off, but the burst is too much. They lose Boxy. They are able to take down Milan in turn. Insania coming in hot with the stolen Laguna.
I think they got to back up. They did their damage. A little too risky to stay here. Bounties are going to be spawning in 30 seconds too. And yeah, there's big hits here coming out from Mudgolems. As back-to-back deaths on Mika. It's, like you said, just hard for him. He's just, at 33, he just has his eyes on him. He knows. Who cares about the DK? Who cares about the Void Spirit? He already doomed Void Spirit 2 or 3 times in this game. Now it's all about Mika. Yeah. Mika has to play so careful. And yeah, waveform onto the aggressive high ground. Really punished him. But Morning, he's up far.
They're able to get in, break the Lincolns. Got the save from Fada, buying time for Boronier, and he's actually able to walk out with the Shadow Blade. They don't have detection. Well, they had sentries, but Boronier with the movement speed far too fast to get out of range of any detection. Insania does jump in, sentry down. Boronier, again, just keeps his distance. He is away.
Fada just honestly always at the right place at the right time. His saves have been, even last game, you know, like we mentioned, Borninga only had the 1 death on Storm, but that was all thanks to Fada saving him like 3-4 times in this game. Again, Fada bails out these situations, saves 33 in the pit, just saves Borninga. All of his false promise just perfectly on point. They have to find ways to get him on the back line somehow. It's all up to Boxy too, because he's got that ag in him, so he has to jump in the back and get these silences.
Because that's the thing I was going to ask you. I mean, it's another game, Boxy 4-9-3. He's dying a lot. How does this sort of make you feel about this Ags rush that we're seeing him go for a second time this series?
I mean, in this one, it can make a lot more sense. In the last one, it hurt him a lot because they were versus that Orchid Storm. But in this one, I can understand like, it's so much better. Versus Oracle, it's like it's always the best option. You have a built-in gap close and you have a built-in AoE silence to prevent these saves. So,
but you are dying a lot because of it. You can't keep yourself safe, right?
Yeah, it's usually just better to have the Yules. I mean, he's going for the big plays, he's going for the big aggression, but it's definitely hurt him a couple times.
Dire are scanning.
BKB done on Boronier now, so now less likely to be burst here by Liquid, as Liquid have tried their best. I mean, they're taking him down the 3 times, but honestly, we're really seeing just another excellent performance from Boronier. Some of those moves, of course, around that last Roche. Buy back and play.
Yeah,
it's doing everything here for Mudgolems. As a second game in a row, they're looking to be this just well-oiled machine. Liquid, you know, not out of this one by any stretch. As they're just down the 3K. It's just, it is that risk. All their power, again, pretty much lying on Mickey, and they have got single target. They've got single target lockdown burst on the side of Mudgolems. Mickey has to be so careful. One slip up and the game can just end.
Yeah, it's tough for him to really like jump from targets to targets either. Milan is so mobile in the fight, so he can't actually just stick on that. He has to try to find Fada, it feels like, because the 3 frontliners are just too tanky for Mika. Like Borninge, like you mentioned, he's always able to get away because of the build that he's gone for here. Can't focus fire the Doom too well, and Spectre is just not an option for you to go on ever as a Morphling first. Yeah, tough game for Mika. Yeah, Mudgolems, this downtime is just phenomenal. They just chill, they farm, finish up their next few items, and then it gives them time for all their ults to be back up and ready.
Yeah, it's just very impressive that both games, Mudgolems, you know, all 3 of their cores, they've just always been as farmed as one another. You know, there's no slipping behind. It just seems that every part of the game, you know, regardless of sort of how it's going, because like this game, for example, we've seen the earlier positions, Liquid making moves, and Mudgolems getting held back, but they're just not losing out on farm. They're just never falling behind on any of their carries.
No. It always really does help when you have Doom. Doom doesn't have to show himself in lanes to farm. He just eats a creep, and he's matching that farm from the talent. You know, 320 bonus gold per thing he devours. So it gives the Spectre and Lina a lot of places to just farm. And yeah, great distribution of wealth for sure.
Yeah. I mean, from these 2 games so far where Mudgolems have managed to get the Doom and the Spectre twice, I mean, if you had to sort of pick one that you think teams are going to be looking at this series and saying we should really think about, I mean, which of the 2 would you consider the bigger issue?
I honestly think it's the Spectre. The Spectre just enables the Doom too much in the fights. It's like Haunt, you see everyone on the map, and it's just like, all right, 33, pick and choose your target, and, you know, there you go. I feel like it just makes the game a lot easier for the whole team to play. And especially if they do have that, like, one hero that can start the fight pre-Blink Dagger, it looks so good, right? With the Earth Spirit this game, the Storm Spirit last game, you Haunt, and then you always just have options, even pre-Blinks. Continuing to grow this lead. Sticking at 3K, but getting some big items to deal with this Morphling. Now Shiva's also for 33, so more heal removal.
Yeah. It's going to make it even harder for Mickey to dance around these fights with the shift. And we're seeing it just with Mickey's itemization. He has to do everything. You know, he's got to get himself a Satanic so he doesn't get burst, and he's also got to get himself a Silver Edge because somebody needs to break this Spectre. You know, everything. It feels like Mickey just has to buy all the items, and I don't know if he's going to have the time and space for them.
No, Quake's definitely wishing he had a GPM talent or something on this DK still. Would be pretty useful for him, but those have been gone for a very long time as trying to get themselves out, scout the Roche. And I just had, Lacoste just actually messaged me. He goes, Spectre just bought a drum. A 4th item drum.
I saw that the 2 of them did that. 33 as well. His drum only came out about 5 minutes ago. So both of them buying very late on in the game drums, the 2 cores.
Well, maybe just really just favoring those active usages when they are just grouped up in fights. It is insanely strong when you pop them, but very interesting to see that. Thank you, Lacoste, for pointing that out, too. Because I looked and I was like, wait, 6 charges a drum on Spectre. What the heck? Oh, he's going to have Scotty finished up on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, just being as slot efficient as possible. He had the money, wants to make sure he's got some, you know, each bit of his inventory, each bit of his kit's doing something for him in that moment. And the drums does certainly fill that hole.
Sure. I mean, they're getting all the items to counter the Morphling. They have the Vessel. They're going to have... I have Scotty finished on Spectre, and they have the Shivas on the Doom.
Near Milan. Finding Boxy. Quick sweep, and Boxy's gone for a full minute.
It really just feels harder and harder. So many different forms of dealing with Mika. And
yeah,
they don't. I feel like they literally just don't care about any of the rest of the heroes at this point on Mudgolems.
No, it's all about Mika, and this game, you know, as farmed as he is, it's not like he is as sort of far ahead as he was in comparison to the trolling game one.
Yeah.
This game, it's true, it's a couple of K ahead in net worth, but Mudgolems, they're 3 carries, they're 3 cores are all totally fine. Scotty's done for Skeeter. Roshan, it's going to be up in a minute and a half, so Mudgolems can look to wait it out and play for that.
I don't know how Mickey's going to handle these team fights. Like I was saying, they literally have the trio of items to counter Morphling. Just it's perfect here. Spirit Vessel, Scotty, and Shivas. No heals for you. Also going to counteract a lot of the Chen heals in the fights too.
Solar Crest on Tiger.
Yeah, they at least do have a couple items to buff up Mickey. That is the one good thing that they do have. And he does have an Illusionist Cape as well. It's just, you know, does he get doomed or does he not? It's really going to be the case in a lot of these fights.
Yeah, and so far, you know, 33's track record on the Doom's been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
He has been finding those Dooms.
Insania also finishing up a full Aghanims too, so they're still finding a good chunk of farm on these supports too. Ward placed up.
Oh. I'm going to look to go towards Milan. Quakefa, he is on the cliff. We'll see if they can punish this as Quakefa, he's going to have to blink up in a second and he'll be able to get his way out of this. Skeeter charging in onto Tiger. Tiger's down. Milan with the buyback as well, looking to join over. They'll turn towards Quakefa. Quakefa's got the BKB, but so's Baron here. Boromir just holding his position. They turn with the stuns onto Skeeter. Wave fall forward from Mickey. He's looking towards 33, but 33 with the 4-stuff. He's off to the side. 33's going to live. They turn on to Mickey. Mickey is just getting controlled down. They need to help Mickey. Can they do anything to save him? The Doom is there. 33 again, finding the opportunity to doom the morph. Skeeter falling low, but the dispersion is killing them off. Skeeter does go down, but Boromir is looking to Insania. Insania with the stolen light strike stops Boromir with the chase. Milan looking at Boxy, rolls away. Boxy is falling low. He does manage to get some big kills on the way out, but it is on the way out as again, and of course, Mudgolems, they'll take the team fight. It was a very expensive team fight. It's 4 buybacks from Mudgolems though.
They're going to get the Roche for it though, and Liquid, they were late to buy back on this one. This Roche is going to die before they get there. They're going to have Aegis Cheese and the Aghanim's Blessing now.
And level 25 on Skeeter. So picked up. Liquid, they're trying to get into the pit. Mickey, he's still heading in. He's looking towards this. The dust is out on Boromir. They're jumping in for him. Can they burst him? Boromir is gone. They can.
Got him.
That's a big one. Boromir's down for 2 minutes. Mudgolems, they've got to make sure they don't lose anything else here, because Liquid, they can take down another one of these cores whilst they don't have buyback. A huge window would be opened, but they don't have the catch. The rest of Mudgolems get away.
And they come back and they do punish the one hero that didn't pick up anything from that Roche. Did pick up the Blessing, but not picking up that Aegis or anything. They get that one kill. They're going to have to make a lot out of these 100 seconds, though, because as soon as he's back up, you know Mudgolems is going to punch back incredibly hard.
Oh, absolutely. And sure, you know, we saw in that fight before the Roche, you know, Mudgolems, yeah, they used the 4 buybacks, but now Liquid in an attempt to threaten that Roche, which they weren't able to do so in time because they weren't quick enough. They've used the 3 buybacks themselves as well, so both teams' cores in a very vulnerable position now. Just the fact that Mudgolems, they have that Aegis on theirs, on Skeeter.
They might be able to get a Rax here, though, because it doesn't, like, Mudgolems doesn't have anything at their tank, so this one should drop. Tier 2s are up in the other lanes, though.
A big opening for Liquid. And so they're going to try and poke for more. I mean, 50 seconds, they know that Boromir is not going to have buyback.
Okay.
They're going to keep this push going.
They're going to force Mudgolem's hands. I think Skeeter just has to go for the fight.
He's going to start charging again. Milan off to the side, gets the silence sound of the 2 of them. Tiger's falling low, 33 jumps in, Infernal Blade down onto Tiger. Tiger gets the Hand of God out. They kill Milan. Milan's gone down. Mickey's turning towards 33. 33 put the BKB, but Mickey's doing it. The damage is there. He kills on 33. He's over towards Skeeter. Skeeter needs help, and he needs it now. 33 coming in with a buyback. They are. They're ignoring the Spectre. They're going for the game end. They take the tier 4. The Ancient's exposed. 33 jumps in with the stun. The Linkers is popped onto Mickey. Haunts out, but Mickey, he's just ending it. He's just hitting the Ancient, looking to close this one up, and Liquid, they're going to be able to do it. The Doom's down, but it's too late. The game is over. Liquid, they did it. They did it. Mickey, he did it.
Oh my god.
I mean, they did it. I mean, that